I am Dr. Y. Venkatesh, Senior Consultant Neurosurgeon, Sunshine Hospital, Secunderabad. Today we are going to talk about obesity and its ill effects on general health and particularly on central nervous system. Obesity is a lifestyle disease. Obesity can be classified as a spectrum of three stages. First stage is overweight, second stage is obesity, and third stage is morbid obesity. And in the morbid obesity, again, it can be classified as moderate morbid obesity and severe morbid obesity. Now, what is obesity? Obesity is the weight of a person far exceeding the normal range for his age and height. Far exceeding. I am not saying just exceeding, it's far exceeding. That is called obesity. Now, to put it in numerical values, we call what is called as body mass index, wherein we calculate the body mass index of a particular person by the formula weight in kgs by height in centimeters or height in meters square. So with this BMI, we also call it as BMI for short, body mass index. If it is less than 20, we call it as underweight. 20 to 24 is called as ideal weight. 24 to up to 26 is called as overweight, and 26 to 30 is obesity, and beyond 30 is severe obesity. Now, of course, these numerical values differ from region to region and from race to race and from country to country, because people who are having bigger frame, they can have bigger weight, and people who are having leaner frame can have leaner weight. So for Indian people, we say that less than 18 is underweight, 18 to 25 is normal weight, 25 to 30 is overweight, 30 to 35 is obesity, beyond 35 is severely obesity. Now, whatever the figures may be, when do we call a person obese? A person who is overweight and having problems like getting breathless for walking short distances, not getting proper sleep, snoring during sleep, even he is just overweight also, body mass index is between 25 to 30 also, we consider that as obesity itself. See, obesity is only a numerical value is given to it to just understand the problem. But actually, if the person is symptomatic even at lesser weights, still even then we can consider him as obese. So suppose somebody whose ideal weight is 70 and now he is 85, he may be overweight as per the definition. But if he is symptomatic, that he is having difficulty in breathing, he is having less intolerance, very low tolerance to walking and such activities, physical activities, walking 10 steps he gets breathless, cannot climb stairs, even at 85 or 84 kgs also, that weight is also can be considered as obesity. So there are two definitions of obesity. One is the numerical value of obesity, other one is symptomatic value of obesity. Now symptomatic means what? There is no other disease. His lungs are perfectly normal. X-ray of chest is normal. His breathing ability is okay. He is able to breathe well. He is very young. He doesn't have any other disease he is not a smoker, nothing. But he is getting breathless, which he was not when he was 70 kgs of weight. So whenever a person becomes symptomatic without any other underlying cause, just because of putting on weight, then that is called as obesity. Now, having defined obesity in three different ways, one is the numerical value, other one is the symptomatic value or symptomatic way of defining obesity, and third is relative symptoms irrespective of weight. So all three are valid definitions, but to make it very simple, let me tell you that somebody who is putting on weight of late, maybe last 6 months, last 1 year, 2 years, and with that he is developing these symptoms of breathlessness, of joint pains, he is getting low backache, and these things, he doesn't have any other problem. Because of just putting on weight only, he is getting these problems. This is called as obesity. Obesity itself is a disease. It is not just putting on weight, obesity itself is a disease. Now, obesity can induce many other diseases, so-called lifestyle diseases. Obesity can induce diabetes. Somebody who is non-diabetic, his family history, there is no diabetes, he doesn't have any gene which can produce diabetes, but still, just because of putting on weight, he has developed diabetes. That is called as obesity-induced diabetes. Similarly, there is something called obesity-induced hypertension. Just because of putting on weight, he has developed hypertension. There is no gene for him, there is no family history, still he has got hypertension. Similarly, sleep apnea. He gets apnea, means cessation of breathing. During the sleep, suddenly he will stop breathing, and then after some time again he starts breathing. This is called sleep apnea, and this is also because of obesity only. Now, apart from inducing these new, or rather de novo we call them, because there was never a family history, there was never an inkling of doubt that he will get this disease, but he has got diabetes, he has got hypertension, these are all induced by obesity. Now, this obesity having induced diseases like hypertension, like sleep apnea, like diabetes mellitus. Secondarily, it can involve any organ in the body, and of which brain is one of the most vulnerable, and the peripheral nervous system and the spinal cord is other very important and very, which can have devastating consequences. So how does obesity affect the brain? So by inducing this hypertension and diabetes, these two are very high risk factors for developing strokes, and so it can bring in changes in the blood vessels which can become the harbingers for future strokes. And apart from that, because of sleep apnea syndromes and all that, during the night when they are sleeping, they are not breathing well. They are accumulating a lot of carbon dioxide in the body because they are not able to wash out the carbon dioxide, because every time we breathe oxygen inside, we have to leave out the carbon dioxide. When they stop breathing in between, every 10-15 breaths, once they stop breathing or they breathe slowly, then the carbon dioxide will accumulate. This will cause what is called as day sleep syndrome, or also called as narcolepsy. Means this person next day morning cannot concentrate on his work, he will get uncontrolled sleep, he can a driver can go and make a big accident, another person who is working on machinery can get injured himself. All these things can happen because the narcolepsy is such a problem, wherein that is also called as carbon dioxide narcolepsy, which can cause the brain to function in a very decreased way. It will depress the brain, it will induce heavy sleepiness which cannot be controlled. Now apart from that, diabetes mellitus is induced, hypertension is induced. So diabetes mellitus can in turn cause other problems like peripheral neuropathy, strokes and all those things. So obesity is a very dangerous disease. Obesity itself is a disease. There is no need to have any other disease. Obesity can induce almost every disease. So that's why we have to be very, very careful not to put on excessive weight. And the best treatment for obesity and its antecedent other diseases which it induces, like hypertension and diabetes. Why I am stressing on hypertension and diabetes is because these are the most common induced diseases of obesity. So these can be reversed by reducing the weight. But when are we going to reduce the weight? If you are putting on weight for the last 5 years and now you try to reduce the weight, even after reduction of the weight, already permanent changes would have happened in the body. So diabetes and hypertension may remain in spite of reducing the weight. That's why you have to reduce the weight at the earliest. You cannot wait till 5 years. Okay, tomorrow I will do exercise, tomorrow I will do dieting, I will reduce. No, that cannot happen. The day you find that you are obese and you are already symptomatic and you are developing other diseases, you have to go ahead and cut down the weight. If you don't cut down the weight immediately, these diseases like diabetes and hypertension can become permanent, because permanent changes can be induced by obesity, and after reducing the weight also that cannot be controlled. So if you are doing this reduction in weight in the early stages of obesity or overweight, then all these things can be reversed. So I think it should not be more than 2 years of putting on a lot of weight, by which time you should try to reduce. Within 2 years, most of these symptoms will be relieved, and diabetes, hypertension, all these induced diseases will also be reversed. Anything beyond 2 years, it is difficult to reverse these diseases, and then you will become a victim for these diseases unknowingly just because of putting on weight. So what is the solution for this? Reduction of weight. It is very simple to say, but it is very difficult to achieve this. So reduction of weight has to be done either by doing dieting and by exercise, and a very programmed way of doing these things, both of them, diet also and exercise also. So that is another big topic to talk about, how to reduce weight and how to concentrate on nutrition, diet and exercise, and what kind of exercises, aerobic exercises versus anaerobic exercises, weight training. There are a lot of other things. So for this, it suffices that it is better not to put on weight, because it's very difficult to reduce the weight. If you put on the weight, you should be able to reduce it fast, drastically you should reduce. Otherwise, your heart will have tremendous pressures, your blood vessels will undergo very fast changes, and there are chances of developing heart attacks, strokes and all that very, very common in obesity.